Hi, everyone. I'm Virginia Walton. I'm a personal coach. Prior to starting my practice, I spent 24 years in the banking and finance industry. And in the last 10 or so years, I had the opportunity to be introduced to coaching more as the receiving end. But I've did the math, and I think I've gotten over 2,500 hours in informal self-study, plus my formal trainings through a Marshall Goldsmith program, the IPEC program, and various opportunities I was able to participate through my different employers while in banking and finance. So, coaching is pretty important to me because a little over 10 years ago, maybe about 10 years ago now, I was at the lowest level form of management in my organization and was given the opportunity to participate in leadership training. And the coach said to me, after seeing my 360 results and hearing the Cliff Notes version of my life, that all makes sense. And if you don't change, you're not going any further. So in my early 30s, the thought of being exactly where I was for another 30 years sounded horrible. So I embraced the process. And it's really what I've learned through working on myself in terms of my leadership style and my own personal growth that excelled my career from being a teller at a small community bank right out of college to senior vice president of a $27 billion bank by the age of 38. It wasn't my degrees because I don't have a fancy one. I have one. And it wasn't family connections because I didn't have any. My father was the biggest deadbeat dad in the county when I finished college. So it was hard work, which included the work on me. So that's why I'm such an advocate for coaching. So, hence where we are today. And today's topic is what you say matters. Now, if you were a kid like me, regularly you heard from mom, maybe it was dad, for me it was mom, it wasn't what you said, it was how you said it. And she was right. Of course, responding to the don't be a wise ass with you want me to be a dumbass didn't help. But that lesson of it wasn't what you said, it was how you said it, played back to me so many times in my corporate career. And you would think, of course, it was the tone of voice you used. It was your body language in meeting. Yeah, that was all true. And very often, how I said it was in reaction to the tone coming across the table at me. And eye rolls count. I have one friend who was guilty of rolling her eyes too often in meetings, and it got noticed. Don't do that. It never goes well, okay? No eye rolling. But in all seriousness, I would usually start out like a tone of voice like this, and somebody would bark at me or snip at me. And guess what? I went right back at them. And you know what? It never served me well. It never got the reaction I wanted. I shared. I didn't come from an easy background as a child, so I probably had a little chip on my shoulder. And when somebody bumped me, that chip got big. And that is exactly how I said it. And so, yes, that's important. And work on how you say it. And we're human. It's natural to want to protect and defend ourselves. I get that. So yeah, when we feel like somebody's verbally coming at us and attacking us, we respond with the same. But the best way to combat that isn't about how you say it to them. It took me a long time to realize this. So you're paying attention? Let me cut you to the chase. It's what you tell yourself when they bite at you. Let me say it again. It's what you tell yourself when somebody barks at you or snips at you or cuts you off, guess what the big secret is? It's not about you. It really isn't. We all think that it's about us. We think most things are about us. Like, as giving as a person as you can be, your first inclination to think, they're attacking me, they're coming at me, what did I say, what did I do wrong? It's not about you. It's about them. It's about the day they're having. It's about, they don't want to hear about one more regulatory requirement. They don't want to hear that you disagreed with them. They got stuck in traffic. They spilled their coffee. Their wife barked at them for not doing something. Their boss just reamed them out. It's about them. They're barking and snipping and snarking at you because of where they are. So, if you can tell yourself that and remind yourself in that moment, that's about them. It's not about me. Guess what? Then you're not going to bark back. You're not going to stick back. You're going to realize it's about them. It's not me. I'm good. I didn't do anything. I didn't spill their coffee. I didn't yell at them. I said something matter of fact. It's what you tell yourself that matters. So, when I learned that it was about them and their insecurities, I suddenly didn't feel so defensive. I was like, okay. Last year, before I left my job, wow, actually it was pre-pandemic now, because we were physically together. Woo! I was stating something. I was looking this way, and the person over here barked at me about not wanting a lecture. I wasn't lecturing anybody. It wasn't about me. I didn't bark back, I'm not lecturing you, which a few years ago I would have done. I didn't say I was giving a lecture. Again, play mom's voice. It's not what you said, it's how you said it. I said, I don't want to lecture either. I'm just making sure everybody knows this. I realized it was about them. And I didn't tell myself that I did something wrong, that I apparently was lecturing. It was about them. So what I said came from a much different place. It wasn't a place of defensiveness. It was just a place of being present in the moment. No lecture. That takes a lot of practice. Here's the thing. It's what you tell yourself. Now, if you're of my generation or older, you may remember the old Saturday Night Live bit with the gentleman, I don't even remember the character's name. He would stand in front of the mirror and do his self-talk. I'm good, I'm special, and gosh darn people like me. Okay, you don't have to do that, right? I do not stand in my bathroom every morning and go, gosh darn people like me. Do I do some self-talk? Do I use affirmations? Yeah. Did I think they were hokey? Totally. But if you remember, I mentioned I've done over 2,500 hours of self-study on leadership and self-development. And guess what, guys? That hokey self-talk comes up a lot. And you know why? Because it works. It works. I've shared in prior videos, talks, that I meditate for a few minutes every morning. Part of that, to calm my mind, is some self-talk. I'm calm. I'm fit. I meet my goals. Whatever works for you. And you know what? I really am calm these days. And never in my life have I not had a steady paycheck. And if you had been sitting with me and my therapist in my early 20s, when I was diagnosed with a mild case of depression, money freaked me out. Why? Because I grew up in a house that didn't have any. I grew up watching bills get paid when the disconnect notices for our utilities came in. That's a pretty impactful event, that imagery. Because then they were actually paper, and they were pink. So my mom didn't have to tell me what they were for me to know, oh crap, our electric's about to get turned off. So as a young adult, early in my career, I worried about money all the time. This is the first time in my life I don't have a regular paycheck coming in twice a month or every other week, or maybe two, because there were times in my life where I worked 2 jobs. I would have been freaked out. But I'm calm. Because I believe in what I'm doing, and my faith is strong that this is the right path and that it will work out financially. Part of that calmness comes from that I'm not sitting here telling myself every day, oh my God, how am I going to pay the electric bill? Oh my God, how am I going to pay for groceries? I'm calm. I have a plan. But every morning I sit and I remind myself of that. I have a weight goal. I keep reinforcing that. Do I stand in front of the mirror? Do I chant it? Do I sing it when I drive to the grocery store? No. Every morning, I remind myself. I had a colleague a couple years ago, again, when we could still be in offices, tell me, hey, Virginia, remember when you said if we got bought by a bank, you wanted to be the compliance person? I'm like, oh yeah, I did say that. Guess what? That was a goal that I set in the back of my head. I didn't have it written on my cube wall. I didn't walk in every morning, good morning, Jeff. I'm going to be the compliance person. I didn't stand in front of my bathroom window going, I'm going to be the compliance person and gosh darn people like me. No. I said it to myself. Every now and then I remind myself. And guess what? I did the work because my mindset was there and I got that job. And it got me promoted. I set a goal. I wanted in 10 years to go from lowest level credit person in the organization to member of the senior leadership team. Again, I didn't walk around saying it. I didn't write it on my wall. I didn't stand in front of a mirror. I didn't chant it for my 42-mile commute. I did the work, and I reminded myself regularly that's where I was going. So that's what I mean when it say it matters what you say. When you tell yourself you can do something and back it up with the work. You can't just say, I'm going to win the lottery, not buy a lottery ticket. That's not going to happen. Or you can't say, I'm going to get the promotion and then stop doing your work. You can't say, I'm going to lose 10 pounds and never exercise and eat nothing but potato chips, soda, and chocolate. You got to do the work. But if you're doing the work and you've got your mindset right, it will make a difference. If you tell yourself that you're healthy and fit, or that you're losing weight, and it's going to help you make the choices because that's what's in your mind. So yeah, how you say it to other people matters about how you receive it. If you walk around with a snarky face, eye roll, and an attitude, nobody's going to listen to you. And guess what? How sincere are you sending those messages to yourself? If I sat here going, yeah, I'm going to be a successful coach, you're not going to believe me. I'm not going to believe you. So no matter how much work I do, it's probably not going to pay for it. And guess what? I'm also probably not going to be very motivated to do the work if that's what I'm telling myself. So the question is, what are you telling yourself? Are you telling yourself you can meet your goals? Are you telling yourself you can write that book? And then starting? Maybe it's just reading a book like you want to write. Are you telling yourself you can go back to school and get that degree? Are you doing the work? Are you sitting there going, yeah, you know what? I can figure this out. I do have the time to do this. I do have time to work on me. I don't need to sit there and Netflix binge whatever with my family. They can enjoy that. And I can be studying, or I can be doing on the elliptical or the Peloton or whatever. If you're telling yourself you can do it, you can. But are you telling yourself? And are you telling yourself with sincerity? It's how you say it to yourself that matters. Mom was right. It wasn't what you said. It was how you said it. So if you've hit the point where you're like, I get this, that makes sense, but I don't know what I should be telling myself. Or I know what to tell myself, I don't know what the work is I need to do. That's where a coach helps. We help you find out the right messaging, the right action plan that's for you, that's specific and going to work for you. It's not cookie cutter. What works for me may not work for you, because we're different people. So, if you're ready to take that step and start to make those little incremental steps to get you where you want to be, whether it's personally, professionally, just at home, call me, text me, check out my website, virginiawalton.com. Leave me a message, leave me a comment. I'm on Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube. I may live in a small town that's not near anything, but thank goodness for technology, you can find me. So let me help you. Listen, you can shortcut it because I've already done the work. I've read the 2,500 hours worth of books. I'll condense it for you. So let's chat, because I want you to succeed. So with that, be well and have a wonderful Wednesday afternoon.